Greetings, guys. Mark Boswell, Boswell Emergency Medical Education here. I'm doing a little video for you to explain and show you and walk you through the new way I've got these class sessions set up and divided out and parceled out. I figured it was a little easier to show you some screenshots versus trying to do it all via an email with a bunch of web links. So you can actually see the walkthrough here and I can explain as we go. All right, so let's get started. So what I've basically done, and I've explained this to some of the classes the last week or so as we were starting each session, letting them know this change was coming. And I think I put it on the Facebook page also. But basically what I'm going to do now is instead of the 4 5-hour sessions, excuse me, we're going to do each one as a separate unit or chapter. I think I'm going to call them units. I've basically taken the 12 separate topics and broke them out, and each one will be a separate classroom, a separate Zoom session basically unto itself. This is going to allow for a little more flexibility and as far as tracking and recording CEs and things like that. So yes, if you attending one of these 4 or 5-hour sessions like we've been doing works for you, and that's fine. Well, on the days that we do 2 or 3 of these back to back, it's not going to be a big difference for you other than you'll actually log into each separate one. But they will actually be separate sections that will stop and start. And I'm comfortable doing this now because I've really been tracking these times and looking at averages for the last couple months. And I'm rounding all these times, I'm rounding them up so we can give continuing education basically on a 15-minute basis. So like a 1.25 hours or 2.25 or whatever. And these are all going to be numbered basically alphabetically for each of the 12 topics here. Okay. And this came from basically all these months of looking at different numbers and times, projected times and averages, so I can really balance this out and help you have a little more predictability to your day and your time if you participate in any of the sessions. So what it's going to look like is on this spreadsheet here. This is starting from this week going forward. I've got basically each topic as a specific session, okay? And there's still between the next 3 weeks, we will have gone through each of the topics twice on a different day and a different time. So still trying to give that variability and that flexibility to different time frames, different days of the week based on your work schedule. Because there's actually separate ones, each one will be a separate classroom. They'll still need you to go into Zoom and just register, so that keeps you on the roster for it. And that way I can track the CNE if I get audited. So what I'm doing, for example, like tomorrow on January 13th, we were actually going to do ENT, abdominal, and I think shock, if I'm not mistaken. So what I've done for tomorrow, from 9 to 10:30, we'll be doing the ENT, class will be over. And then at 11 o'clock, we'll come back together and then we'll do the abdominal one from 11 to 12:30. So I kept these times about where they would normally be if we did this normal 5-hour block tomorrow, but I had to drop the third part of that one off, and I've moved it ahead, the shock section ahead into another slot there, because we want to try and keep it a little more concise here as well too. Okay. Now, most days you're going to see 2 sections done pretty much back to back, or at least with a 30-minute time frame in between. Some days you'll see one like in the morning hours, one in the evening hours. And I try and rotate between those 2 to give a little more flexibility. Some days there may only be one that we're doing, like January 20th. I'm just doing the blood gases. Now, that being said, if a week before that time, or as it gets closer, if I add something on or we had a cancellation or moves, I might add something later on that day. I don't have any days where I'm doing 3 chapters yet. We'll see how that goes. These ones a little bit later on where there's only 1 per day, I might actually add one to either the morning or the evening half of that day as well too, just to give them more flexibility. But I at least want to get the full 24, which is each one done twice, plugged into this next 3 or 4 week period for you guys. So this is what it looks like in a tabular format. I'm going to show you where you can actually link to this. I actually have this spreadsheet published on the web. You can link to it and print it off if you want to use as a checklist for which ones you're attending or whatever. All right. So let's see how it looks on the website. So back to the normal website, www.passthecen.com. As you've done before, you can either click here under classes in the top bar, and then this little drop-down menu to this one. It says flex sections for current registrants only. That's you, if you've currently registered and paid and you're still one of the attendees. And you'll still come to this same Google Forms doc, this purple sign-up sheet. Okay. Now remember, this sign-up sheet is just indicating your interest in a particular session. This does not register you per se into Zoom. It's from this form that I then send you the Zoom invite within 24 to 48 hours before the class. That actually gets the login link for that specific class. Okay, so this is just basically your statement of interest. So I have a spreadsheet on the back side. I'll let you see it right quick. Let me see if I can find it. Well, anyways, no, I'm not gonna do that. But basically it gives me a spreadsheet so I know who's planning on coming to which session. And then from that spreadsheet, I send you the Zoom invite a day or two before it. Okay. So you either got here by using that top button and clicking this drop down here, or if you're on the main page, you can come right to it. Let's go back to the main page by clicking this blue button that says classes. That takes you to the web page of all the classes, both the online ones and the live ones. So I do have one in March we're hopefully doing still. In which case you would, for the live ones, you can click here. I'm showing you how to get to the calendar though, okay? So if you go to this page, because this is actually for the people who are just learning about it and they want to actually sign up for it. This is where most of y'all signed up, was through here. But if you want to see more, a different type of calendar, here's this one. I update this every time I add a new session. You could probably print this web page or cut and paste this. And then you've got the Google Calendar that is linked. And this is dynamic. Anytime I change something on my desktop calendar, it updates here automatically. And remember with this, you've got a couple different ways to look at this. You can look, and here's your views here. Right now it's defaulting to the month view. So you can see on a monthly which days have classes, and you also see the times. Click on the individual class, it'll tell you the time is from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Central Time. Now, these times for me are Central Times. Depending on your time zone, I'm not sure how Google does it, if they automatically detects you on Eastern or Pacific. Check down here at the bottom and see what your time zone is, okay, and adjust accordingly. Okay, remember what you see here are always the correct ones. These are the Central Times for my time zone. So you got the monthly view. You can also go to this agenda view, and it'll pull up all the things there, okay, like a list. All right, and you can actually still use this print command right here and print this list off. Okay, or you can do it a weekly view. As a weekly view, you see the actual time blocks in here. Okay, here we are today. So tomorrow from 9 to 2, we got section 3, which I'm actually splitting up. But here you see the individual blocks now as they start appearing that way. And there's always at least a 30-minute time between the two of them for a little overrun if we need to. Okay, so that's the weekly view. The default is the month view. Okay, and you've got one more way you can see this. If you click this button right here, click the section selection page. I'm sorry, oh here, this printable spreadsheet right here. All right, click that. If everything works good, come on. I think I have to change my window share. It should pop up in a new window as a PDF. And you can just print that PDF off. Again, anytime I make changes on my spreadsheet on Google Docs, that link you just clicked would pull you the most current, most recent updated one. Okay, and if you need to use that as like a little checkbox or something to highlight the ones you've attended or the ones you're planning to attend or whatever, that's one way you can use that. Because that's gonna be the tricky thing for you guys for this, is trying to keep up with 12 different chapters. And I apologize for that. But I think overall this will make some better changes and more flexibility. It's definitely gonna make some more flexibility and changes on my end as far as trying to coordinate all this stuff and get it going. Let me do one more thing and show you when you do go to the actual selection page. Remember, this is that purple Google Forms page on the website. This is where you sign up. This is the one that I send you a link to in every email I send you. So it's still basically the same email, first name, last name. But now instead of those different 4 sections, you've got each one listed individual. So you can see the abdominal. Right now you got a couple choices for abdominal GI. And again, I've made sure that right now you've got at least 2 choices for every one of them through the 1st or 3rd of February, through the 4th of February, okay? And so that's basically delivering the entire class twice in about a 3-week period, which is a lot because the most I've ever done was 2 classes in a month. So, but again, you see I'm still trying to balance this out and make sure you get equal access to those. All right, I hope that helps. Again, just play with it on the website. Email me if you got any questions or anything. I hope this makes it a little bit easier for you. I think the only hard part to this will be trying to, for you to print something off that you can pick and choose and what the choices are, okay? But as soon as I put something on my calendar, it filters right through to here and it automatically generates a new one. So this is continuously updated, as well as that purple form is also the sign up form. This is the only one I have to manually type in here. Okay, so this listing here might be a little delayed sometimes, but the spreadsheet, the calendar, and then your purple form here, those all update dynamically when I make changes on the Google Drive. So it's pretty neat as far as that goes. All right, guys, that's what I want to share with you. I'll let you get out of here. Email if there's any questions. I'm going to send some links to those pages to everybody that's currently registered in the classes. And let's see how this works out and if it's a good thing or if we need to modify it more, because I'm about trying to make it work for you and to make it work for me. All right. All right. Stay safe. Be well. I'll see you guys in class soon.